We've got, at the moment, the global consulting firm Ernst Young in the mix, expecting Brazil, Russia, India, China, the BRIC nations, or the BRICS nations, if you include South Africa, to take the lead in global steel demand. It highlights India, where it believes that the steel sector will experience unprecedented growth. Joining us to discuss the report is Mike Elliott. Mike is Ernst Young's global mining and metals leader. Mike Elliott, thanks a lot for joining us. Just want to first of all ask you why you singled out India here.
Well, India really represents the next growth frontier of the steelmaking, and those global players who really want to participate in the next surge of growth that we see in steelmaking really have to have some form of India play.
But of course it's the other countries here which have been driving demand thus far and will continue to do so.
Correct, yeah. We will still see those BRIC nations, and I'd include Korea as a K in BRIC there, would also be a significant contributor to what's been still a reasonably good recovery for steelmaking. But we're seeing this real dichotomy starting to develop between those frontier areas, which is being close to the markets, so where a lot of the end user demand is, separated from those more mature markets, older installed technologies, which are going to struggle to actually compete with some of the new cost performance we're seeing of the new installed capacity.
Yeah, well, with that in mind, we still have the demand side of it continuing to grow exponentially, and with that, of course, comes higher prices. What are you, at the moment, penciling in as far as price growth this year and into next?
Yeah, well, I think we'll still see just modest increases. The sector is still struggling with the lag effect it has of being able to pass its raw material increases in its raw material prices through to its end customers, and progressively we're finding that the leading steelmakers are able to start to decrease that lag effect and feed that into steel prices. So we see steel prices still have some way to go to increase to make up for some of those input prices, but it's going to happen progressively over the next 12 months.
You mentioned the input price side of things, and of course many challenges there, not least coking coal, which is vital in the production of steel itself. Still feeling the impact of those floods in Queensland and elsewhere as well. We've had quite a lot of supply constraints.
Yeah, exactly. It's pointed out the vulnerability a lot of these supply chains for the steel sector have actually been. So there's been obviously continued healthy growth in iron ore prices. Coking coal particularly has been impacted by those climatic events. And when you go back to the story around India, you know, one of the challenges for India, it has a lot of domestic iron ore, but particularly vulnerable to, particularly in the short term, coking coal imports from within the Indian Ocean region. And a lot of the M&A activity we've seen of Indian steelmakers has actually been trying to get a greater security of supply by actually targeting coking coal operations around the Indian Ocean region. Michael Elliott, thanks a lot. Have a great day. Michael Elliott is there from Ernst Young, just talking about